My pre-market trading strategy is up over $1,000 on only a $2,000 position on ticker EQ this morning, and it's only been in it for 35 minutes. The power of pre-market trading. So I just want to take a moment today in this video to showcase to you how I go about trading the pre-market, as I truly believe it is the best possible way to potentially grow a small trading account. The most important thing is you need to be able to find the stocks making moves, right? Well, over in my Discord server, and I can't take credit for this, this is someone else's live stream on YouTube, but I share this live stream, and as you can see up there in the top right, EQ is still the largest stock highlighting in real time. Also in the trade floor channel, there are always people talking about which stocks are moving. In fact, here at 8:35 this morning, EQ was alerted in the trade floor channel once again in my Discord. Now, I also have a pre-market scanner, as you can see running here, built within Thinkorswim. And right now, you can see that EQ is in fact at the top of that list. But unfortunately, there is a huge limitation with Thinkorswim scanners. The results of the scanners themselves only update every roughly 3 to 5 minutes. So they can be extremely useful for like finding volatility and maybe taking moves after the fact, some sort of setups like after a move has started. But if you're really looking to get in sort of on that initial news pop, as this pre-market strategy is doing, unfortunately, Thinkorswim scanners aren't necessarily amazing at doing that. Now, there is a sort of way around this. News in pre-market drops almost exclusively either at the top or bottom of the hour. So at 8 a.m. or 8:30, etc., you can come into your scan tab and you can manually run the pre-market scanner, and that should refresh the results in real time. But it's still annoying, and sometimes news may happen outside of those hours, etc. That is why I sort of created the Discord resource. And right now there are over 300 members in this Discord server. That's a lot of eyes on the market. So really anything that moves, especially in pre-market, we are very active in here during pre-market, tends to get alerted in real time. Then very obviously the next step is you need a strategy. By the way, EQ continues to push highs up over $1,100 now on this $2,000 position. So let's talk about the strategy that has created this profit opportunity. So the entrance condition for the pre-market strategy in theory is very simple. It was relatively difficult to code, and I'll get into why now. So all the strategy is looking for its entrance condition is a large spike in bullish volume. The second step of that, however, is that large spike in volume must come at either the top or bottom of the hour. Remember, as I said, in pre-market, companies almost always announce their news at the top or bottom of the hour. In custom Thinkorswim coding, there's no way to reference news. There's no way to tell the code only buy if the stock just announced news. So instead, I built my code out in that way. Look for heavy bullish volume at the top of the bottom of the hour. That typically represents news, right? That typically means that the stock got news. And the next thing you can do is you can turn on this live news modal from your charts. If I show the sidebar, you can see it here. You can turn on this live news modal just to confirm when you see a stock popping up on the scanner or being announced in the Discord that is about to enter the pre-market strategy. You can just quickly confirm that it actually does have a news headline. For example, here EQ at 8:30 announces up to $50 million in financing to advance EQ 504, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, has very important material moving news for the company. Now, there are two reasons why I believe trading pre-market is the easiest way to grow a small account. And the first of those two is basically what we were just talking about. Companies tend to announce news during pre-market or sometimes in after hours trading, and they tend to do so at either the top or bottom of the hour. Now, I'm not saying it's guaranteed. Companies only announce news in pre-market and it only ever happens at the top or bottom of the hour. There are other things that may happen, but very much so and nearly exclusively is that the time when companies announce news. What does this mean for your small accounts? You have scheduled volatility, right? You know, hey, I can be watching the market during these hours, during these couple of hours before before market opens, during pre-market, and I can just check out my scanner at the top and bottom of the hour to see what's moving, and I know that stock is going to be volatile. Now, something I talk about a lot on my channel, something returning subscribers to this YouTube channel will have likely heard me say, volatility is a double-edged sword. You need, if your goal, should I say, is to grow an account rapidly, then you must be targeting volatility. It is required to make large profit trades. However, volatility doesn't always mean straight up. It doesn't always mean you're going to get in a trade and be up 50% 35 minutes later like you are here in EQ. There are times where you're going to enter a trade and volatility is going to go the other direction very hard as well. So just keep that in mind also. I always like to talk about the possibility of losing when I talk about my strategies because I don't ever want anyone thinking they're going to sign up, download my strategy, and just catch 50% winners every time. Remember, volatility is a double-edged sword. Reason number 2 is that there are no volatility halts in pre-market. When EQ announced its news at 8:30, it went up 96% inside of 10 minutes. That is a massive move very, very quickly. During normal market hours, that move would not be allowed to happen in such a short time frame, at least, right? Every single stock has volatility handrails assigned to it, meaning based on what time of day it is and the price of the ticker, if a stock makes a certain percentage move in a certain amount of time, it will be halted for a minimum of 5 minutes while market makers ensure that the bids and the asks are still aligned at the current price. Now, stocks can be halted in pre-market and after hours trading, but only for news or other halt types, not volatility halts. So stocks are volatile, right? You have that scheduled volatility at the top and bottom of the hours, and there are no volatility halts. So you can get these insane kind of moves. I mean, hell, once again, even since this strategy entered, the stock is up over 57%. So you can get these sort of just insanely huge moves, which once again are required if your goal is to rapidly grow an account. So now what are the exit conditions of this strategy? Well, and I don't want to jinx it here, but the way this trade is going, it looks like it is going to hit the exit condition of market open. It is currently 9:15 a.m., meaning the market opens in 15 minutes. At opening bell, so at 9:30, if you are still in a position, the position will exit. This is a pre-market trading strategy, right? The whole idea is to take advantage of the volatility and lack of limit halts that I just mentioned in pre-market. So once the market opens, get out of the trade. But while we wait to see if that EQ trade does in fact make it to market open, let's go over the other 2 exit conditions for this strategy. And this trade here on CREG from just a few days ago is actually a great example because I can also talk to you about this. This trade happens in after hours. The strategy is also coded to enter positions, once again, for the same exact reason, being a bullish volume spike at either the top or bottom of the hour in after hours trading as well. Because once again, in after hours, much like pre-market, companies often announce news at the top or bottom of the hour. So if you want to be an after hours trader, you can also use the strategy for that. Anyway, here on CREG, made $261 profit, once again on a $2,000 position. But why did it decide to get out here? So this is a continuation trading strategy, obviously, meaning I am buying high, looking to sell higher. With almost every single one of my continuation trading strategies, I don't have a profit target. I don't have a, if this thing goes up X amount, sell into the green candle. No, I let the stocks be strong for as long as I can, and then I get out on the first sign of weakness. So my profit lock, other than exiting at market open for this strategy, is candle that closes below the lowest low value out of the last 5 candles. So basically the lowest low value out of the last 5 candles is this one or this one here, one of these two that are about tie. So when we close down below that, we get sort of a price action level breakdown. That is when the strategy exits and locks in the profit. Now, guess what? Sometimes this strategy takes losing trades. I know I haven't found the magic bean or built the time machine yet that gives us that 100% win rate trading strategy. Unfortunately, I don't think I ever will. You all know how it goes. Sometimes you enter a trade, the entrance condition looks perfect, and the trade just goes against you. That is always going to happen and always will happen. There's no way possible that you're going to ever get around that forever. So what you need to do is you need to have a stop loss strategy in place that helps you keep your losers small so that over time your strategy is still profitable. The stop loss for this strategy is to sell the first candle that closes below the low of previous candle. So in wrap up, when you are green, when the stock is trading above the entrance price, you sell the first candle to close below the lowest low of the last 5 candles. Really meaning like you're giving it more room to breathe. Like even if it has a little red candle, a little drawdown, it has to break the low of the previous 5 before you exit. However, if you are red in the position, if the current price is below your entrance, you don't give it so much room to breathe. The first candle to close below the low of the previous candle rather than the last 5, you just go ahead and get out. That helps us to keep our losers small while allowing our winners to run. There is 5 minutes left in this EQ trade. So while we watch this last 5-minute candle to see how much money the strategy is going to make in this trade, I just want to let you know that if you are interested in this pre-market trading strategy or over 150 plus other custom thinkorswim coded strategies, studies, stock scanners, conditional orders, workspaces, etc., they are all available for easy import over on my website, daytradingstrategies.net, which I will link down in the description below this video. Also, if the Discord server that I mentioned at the beginning of this video is of interest to you, which it should be, there are currently, we just passed 300 members. That's a lot of eyes on the market. Anything that moves is being alerted in this Discord. And even if it's not, once again, I am also sharing this scanner. It's really just a great way to make sure you're never missing these pre-market or after hours trade setups. This is also available at no extra cost when you sign up over on my website. So on the website, when you go to check out, you can choose between either a monthly plan or an annual plan. The annual plan will give you 12 months of access to every single new code I add to this website. Obviously, with the annual plan, you're going to save yourself some money over the next 12 months, but more importantly, you get lifetime access to that Discord server. Meaning, even if you decide to cancel your membership on the website, you're not going to be removed from the server or anything like that. And for the month of August, I ran a limited discount code for 30% off of anything you decide to sign up for on the website. I created 30 coupon codes. Right now, there are only 6 left. So the next 6 of you to sign up and at checkout use coupon code AUG30 will take 30% off of your purchase. That means 12 months of access to all the codes plus lifetime access to that Discord server for less than $280. Now, I'm not allowed to tell you that the Discord will pay for itself, but I get reviews all the time. There's 5 or 6 reviews like this I've read that the Discord pays for itself within a week of signing up for it. And we are now just 5 seconds away from market open, meaning you should see the strategy exit EQ right there at market open. That locks in $900 of profit on only a $2,000 $1,000 position. Very small position size, and you made over $900. I mean, there's an example of if you were to take, I'm not saying you would have or whatever, but if you were to have taken this one trade using one code from the website one morning based off an alert that you saw in the Discord, would have very easily paid for the cost of the membership that you have now 12 months of access to the codes and lifetime access to the Discord. It seems worth it. So if this codified trading interests you at all, head on over to daytradingstrategies.net, linked in the description down below this video. Even if you don't want to pay for it, listen, I understand not everybody wants to pay, whatever, you have your reasons, but there's a handful of free codes over on the website that you can go check out and access. And actually, let me take advantage of one of these quickly to show you how easy it is. So every single one of the 150 plus codes on the website comes with one of these TOS share links. All you need to do is copy that share link. Back within your Thinkorswim, you're going to go to setup in the top right, open shared item, paste in that link, preview, and import. Just like that, in about 3 mouse clicks and 5 seconds, you can have any and all of the 150 plus codes imported from my website into your Thinkorswim, saved locally, right? Once you have the codes imported, they are yours forever. These are now your codes. You can even access, read, and edit the source code if you would like to sort of learn how they work, maybe manipulate them a little bit to work a little bit better specifically for you. But anyway, you then open them just like you would any other code of that type. So daytradingstrategies.net, at least go take advantage of the free codes, right? I mean, why not? Remember, just the next 6 of you to sign up using discount code AUG30 will get 30% off. Go check out the website, go read the reviews, help decide for yourself if this is something that could help accelerate your personal trading journey.